Hey, how you doing? It's Jake Williams. This is Tommie Knapp, and we are on your favorite chalk show. Another round. Now, Tommie's not going to be drinking because he's sober, but I am because I'm not, and I hate that idea. So anyway, this is you've probably seen the show if you've been on this channel before, and if you're one of the 5 people, thank you for watching again. This is another round. We ask some questions. I bring a topic. He brings a topic. We play some Would You Rather. We find out more about ourselves. Hopefully. Now this is Tommie Knapp, one guy that I've always wanted on this show.
Yeah,
I've always wanted you.
I've always wanted to be on the show. Like, every episode.
Oh, you're too kind.
I know. I'm also single.
You're ready to mingle. So anyway, let's get right down to it. Let's just hit it. Sports. That's my topic. Why do we love sports? What makes sports so special? Why is it something that we all love?
Well,
we love it anyway.
If you've ever been to America, and if you haven't, then you're probably a terrorist. But if you've been to America, you know that we love sports because it helps us get out of our anger, if we have any. And if you're playing, you forget about all your worries and your, divorces and stuff like that. And you forget about, life, and you just play. You play with all your heart.
You just do it. That's why Nike made that.
Just do it.
The reason why I love sports and why I love football, for example. Football is my favorite sport. Always will be. And I'll never forget. I passionately started caring about college football. I'll watch the NFL. I'll watch Super Bowls. I'll keep up to date with it. But college football for me is where it's at because they're amateurs and they're playing. They're it's like me playing pretty much because they're not getting paid, so it's like backyard, but sanctioned and safer. But it just builds a special bond with your dad. And I say your dad because if your mom likes sports, more power to you. But most of the time, it's gonna be your dad.
It's Papa.
And your dad in particular, I yell at him all the time because I think I'm right and he's wrong. Sports. It's just.
You guys have fights for hours, and usually it gets pretty heated, debated.
He took a swing at me one time.
And usually I'm in the middle of it, and usually I'm laughing because it's funny.
I got him so mad one time. He said, "Why don't you shut up and listen to me, you idiot?" There's a few times he's never like Tommie's dad, which I tried to get that episode because I did talk to him about the college football playoff, my podcast. There was something wrong with it. Couldn't be done, so I apologize.
It was a good podcast too.
I was disappointed, but he's a very religious man, so he doesn't swear, but he will say things like "you stupid idiot" and things like that, which don't hurt me because it's the truth. I am a stupid idiot.
Stuck with you this while though.
But another thing I love about sports is 3 to 4 hours, you're locked into that TV and you don't care about what else is going on. And it's just, with the right people, it could be a really fun time. It could be like you can get a pizza, you can get wings, you can get, if you're of age, beer, and, things like that, Yeah. What is, your fondest sports memory?
I've got a lot of sports memories. Probably.
Not necessarily playing. We could put some of this, but, watching.
Okay.
Because we have a lot of sports memories together when we played football. Can't promise I was good at it. I slacked off a lot.
Watching. When Nebraska lost to Texas by a field goal.
Oh, the 1 second that went back on the clock?
I cried.
You really cried?
Yeah, I did. I went in my room and I cried. That game meant a lot to me because I remember how good our defense was and how absolutely terrible our offense was. But to have that great of a defense, for me to witness that type of defense that Nebraska had.
Yeah, it was the first time we had a black-shirted defense in a long time. And now Bo Pelina's fired, so.
Yeah. Good for him.
Yeah. I don't like him.
I don't either.
He's mean.
He called us the C word.
Well, yeah, he's called the AD a CU.
Yeah.
See you next Tuesday. That's not cool. I think my fondest memory, and sometimes it's not even the team that I necessarily like or root for. My fondest memories are teams where I have nothing in it other than I just don't like the other team. My
Very
fondest
Patriots.
memory with my dad, but my fondest memory with my dad watching football was watching the 2003 Fiesta Bowl between Ohio State and Miami, and that game went into 2 overtimes. Miami should have won because that wasn't a pass interference, but I was happy with it because I just loathe Miami, and and that was just one of those things where we were watching it and we were totally invested. I don't like Ohio State either, but I was just totally invested in that game, and I hated that team that much. And that's the beauty of sports, is you get so passionate behind a sport. It doesn't matter if it's necessarily your hometown team. If you're that invested in the sport, you'll watch any team, and you'll pick a team that you hate, and you'll pick a team that you like. Hey, you know what? If I don't necessarily care about them as much as my team, but I'd like to see them do well.
And that's the thing about football. Even if your team's not in it, even if they went 3-8 that year or whatever, you're still watching every football game that's at the end, and you're super depressed when it's all over because then you have to wait.
Well, it's March right
Seasons.
now. As we're recording this, is in March. It's been a month since we watched football.
Yeah.
In any form.
I've been crying every night.
It's depressing, man. It really is. And nothing against basketball. I watch hockey occasionally. Hockey's a fun sport. Basketball's cool and all that, but
they're not as.
It's not as special to me as football.
Yeah.
There's just something about football. Maybe it's because we're from the Midwest. Maybe it's because we're Nebraska kids.
Yeah, I think that's it.
But that's what I find interesting about football, because I'm sure it's the same in other sports, but I'm a Buccaneers fan, you're a Raiders fan. We're used to rooting for teams that aren't our teams in the playoffs,
Yeah, 12 years.
And it's funny because you always pick that one team. You're like, that's the team. That's the team I'm going to ride and hope they make it to the big one. I hope they make whenever the Cardinals are in the playoffs, I root for them. I wanted them to beat the Steelers when they're in the playoffs because it's just like, give the little guy one. And then I rooted for the Seahawks when they played against the Broncos because they never had one. And it's nice to see those things. But again, that's the beauty of sports.
Mm-hmm.
And there's so much friendship and camaraderie and bonding you can go with. That's why I love sports. Because I might not know anything about you as a person, but damn it, we could talk forever about any sport. I try to keep up to date on all sports. Unless it's like lacrosse or curling, then you're screwed. Cause
I don't even know what seasons they play.
I don't either. It's a cool sport, though. It's a cool sport. All you lacrosse players out there, send me a video. Maybe I'll be like, oh, yeah, okay, yeah.